right. Hey, I'm Kate. I almost backed out of this multiple times. I basically had Kim's number on speed dial because I just kept hearing this voice in my head. You don't belong here. Who do you think you are? How can you get up on a stage and talk about God? Look at all you've done. And all these lines, they were so familiar because I've been hearing them for most of my life. When I was 4 years old, my mom left me and my dad. And even though my family told me, it's not your fault, it's nothing you did, as a kid, you can't wrap your head around that. It doesn't make sense. So when she came back to my life at the age of 8, I turned into a toddler again. And I tried to be this perfect child to try to make up for whatever it was that I did to drive her away. And I kept doing that with boys' attention and friends that were toxic, with teachers, with my parents, my dad, everybody. I was just trying to catch up. I was always playing catch up, running to try to be this perfect version of myself. And then when I hit college, I rebelled. I figured if I can't be the perfect version of myself, I'll just become the worst version of myself. I met a boy and started dating him, and he took me away from my family and turned me into somebody that I wasn't. I had a short temper, and my mouth was foul. I broke standards that I'd held myself to for 19 years. I fought with my family, but mostly, I made the conscious decision to throw every promise I had in the trash and run hard from God. And then one night, crying on the floor of my shower, I looked up and I said, I need you. I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this. And God met me right there, right where I was, broken and lost and dark. So now I'm saved. And let me tell you guys, if you don't know, the devil is never going to be happy about that decision because he attacked me hard. For the next couple of months, it would be the worst year of my life. In January, the boy that I'd given everything to sent me a text message that he was leaving for New Mexico. So my parents did pray for him to take him out of my life, but I don't think that they meant that far. But nonetheless, he packed up and left. In February, I lost out on an internship that I'd been dreaming about since I was 8 years old because of 2 questions. In March, I was able to go back home to Alabama, where I'm from, and I got to see my mom. And it was the single greatest week that I had ever spent with her in my life. And I was able to look her in her eyes and tell her, I forgive you. In April, she died. In May, I lost all but 2 of my friends. And for someone whose biggest fear was always losing people, I lost everything. So there I was again on the floor crying. And I said, God, if every month for the rest of my life is going to be like this, bring it on. Let's go. Because as long as I don't have to live a life without you in it, I'll take whatever. I'll take whatever comes. Because I just can't live without you anymore. A couple months later, around October, November, I was asked to go downtown with a group from my church to go witness to people. And there was that voice again. Who do you think you are? You can't go talk to people about God. How can you talk to people about God when you ran from God yourself? And then I heard a different voice. And he said, you can speak to these people because you were these people. And I went, and I am so glad that I did. Because the enemy kept trying to show me who I was before Christ, and God was trying to show me who he was making me through Christ. The world kept showing me this image that I had to run to catch up to be worthy of love. But God met me on the floor of my shower, broken in pieces, and he loved me there. He loved me the way that I was. And he told me that he had a promise on my life. And it didn't matter what I'd done. It didn't matter all the mistakes I made. He loved me there. And he would love me every step of the way because I still have days. And I still hear that voice. But the difference is I also hear God's voice telling me, I love you. I have a purpose for you. I have a plan for you, and I'm here. You can stop running. So I have this verse that's kind of carried me through this whole year and transition of that. And it's 2 Corinthians 12:9. And he has said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness, so that the power of Christ may dwell in me. He's going to meet you where you are. You don't have to be perfect. He loves you already. As soon as I turned around after running so hard and for so long, as soon as I turned around, there he was, open arms. And he welcomed me as his own daughter, and I haven't had to run since.